One trade idea for every team in Major League Baseball. Me and James are going through all 30 teams and telling you each one trade we think that this team could make this offseason. It is going to be chaotic. Me and James have different trades for literally every team. We might have some of the same. We don't know. We are unaware of each other's lists, but I'm excited to see what James has. I'm excited to tell you guys what I have. Before we do get going into it, remember to subscribe at 10,000 subscribers. We are giving away a signed MLB jersey, so make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on that and all the content that we now for you. Without further ado, James, I'm going to let you pick the division again. Where are we starting?
Let's start with the AL East. I like when we start with the AL East. I think we now have a great Blue Jays contingency, too, that loves the windup, so I'm happy to, honestly, start with them. And
that's like my least favorite one in the American League.
I think that the Blue Jays right now are so primed to go out and get Ketel Marte. It's a perfect fit right now. It's a perfect match. They're willing to pay down the contract. And I think if you pay down Ketel Marte's contract, it won't cost that much. They have some fun risers right now in their system. I think it's either TJ or RJ Shrek, I think his name is. He's an infielder. And then
former South Carolina Gamecock, but he's, I think, old.
He is old, but I think people just like him as like a high-value infielder. I think Johnny King's also fun. Gage Standifer is going up list really quick. I think you can put together a package of those guys right now. It's RJ Shrek. I knew it was something with a J.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's older, but he's like, I think the
Diamondbacks.
Shout out RJ. The Diamondbacks love a guy like that. You know what I mean? Like a plug-and-play guy. Like he's an improvement over Tim Tawa. That's right up there. That's right up their lane.
I think even if you're going to pay majority of the contract or all of it, I still think there's going to be more than that. Like I still think there has to be one fringe top 100 guy, and I don't think really any of those guys are truly fringe top 100.
I think King and Standifer are getting to be fringe top 100 guys.
Close-ish.
I think especially Standifer. Because Standifer, you see him as like a high-velocity guy that can be in the major leagues next year. And if the Diamondbacks want to still stay in this weird middle ground they're in, which we'll talk about them later, I think that's something they would like. There's more about the Blue Jays than Diamondbacks.
Yes, of course. Yeah. For me, I had the Blue Jays. I mean, they're trading Jose Barrios. I don't actually know who the fit is. Like, I think the Giants could use Jose Barrios, but then it's hard to value Barrios back because he is due all this money, but also he's still going to give you like 160 innings at like a 4 ERA. Like there is value to the teams that he'd be going to, but I think like the Giants could use him. I think the Cubs could use him. Like technically, I think the Mets could use him.
The
Astros could really use him. I'm like, would they do it for Jake Myers? I have Jake Myers being traded like 10 times in this video. So
really, I say like Jake Myers in this.
Yeah, I mean he's super not interesting, but I think at the end of the day, this is one of the two where I think I don't know where a guy would go, but Jose Barrios is being traded to one of I think either the Orioles, the Giants, the Cubs, or maybe even like, did I say the Giants? I said the Giants, right? The Giants, and then maybe the Astros. I think those are the four teams that will end up with Jose Barrios by the end of the year.
Yeah, I think they're dying to get rid of him. But I do think at this point, like he's even below the tier of volume pitchers available. Like it was way below Mitch Keller. He's below Brady Singer. Like Jose Barrios is kind of like, we just want the most absolute boring innings either we can possibly get with just not even a hint of upside left. But you talked about the Orioles. Orioles next. I have a very fun, very simple trade for the Orioles.
I do too, so let me hear yours first.
Dylan Beavers for Freddie Peralta.
Ooh, okay, that's a fun one.
Yeah, it might even be a little bit of an overpay for Freddie Peralta, but I mean, they did this once before. Like, this is the Corbin Burns trade reenacted.
Yeah, I think that Freddie might command maybe a little bit more than Dylan Beavers, also just because of the fact that
less.
The other issue here, too, is I feel like the Brewers have enough outfielders at the major league level already, so I don't know how good of a fit that truly is.
But the Brewers right now could use more of a bat. Like, Dylan Beavers projects as an above-league
average bat. Of course, he's a good hitter.
Yeah. So the fact that they can I think they can stick him in a corner and then still kind of rotate the center field like they do.
Yeah, it's not necessarily I don't think it's enough. I think the Brewers might get maybe a little more in terms of players back. Like they might be looking for a couple guys back volume-wise.
But I think that's the opposite. I don't think the Brewers want volume. I think if you just tell the Brewers right now, like Dylan Beavers can be your like strong side platoon left fielder in opening day. Because what you're trying to do right now is beat Jake Bauers. Because right now that's like Jake Bauers. He's going to platoon with Isaac Collins. Like I think Dylan Beavers is just simply better than that. So I think I don't think the Brewers should do this. But this is from the Orioles' perspective. They kind of made Dylan Beavers a bit extraneous in the near term.
For me with the Orioles, I have a fun one. Major leaguer for major leaguer. Ryan Mountcastle. You're going to Philadelphia. They're moving Bryce Harper back to the outfield, or Ryan Mountcastle becomes their DH if you don't want to put Bryce Harper in the outfield and you don't re-sign Schwarber. I think he would rake in that ballpark in Philly. And the Orioles need some left-handed bullpen help. Jose Alvarado going to the Baltimore Orioles. The Phillies, the guy's got the PED thing. He kind of stunk when he came back a little bit too. The stuff's electric, but it feels like a fit that would be a net positive for both sides because the Phillies still have Matt Strahm. He's disgusting, and you can go find a second left-handed reliever. You don't really need to carry Jose Alvarado and all his nonsense.
That's fun. Actually, I like that idea a lot.
All right, next up, I'm choosing this one. Let's go with, we're going to leave the Yankees for last in this division because Yankee fans love us. I'm going to talk about the Rays because they have a lot of guys that I think they're going to be trading out big names.
Yeah.
The one I went with is Brandon Lau being traded to the Dodgers for any one of their 27-year-old starting pitchers in the minors.
Okay, so I had a very similar idea here. Okay. I had Brandon Lau also going to the Dodgers, which is
nice.
Crazy. But I had the Rays pairing Brandon Lau with one of maybe like another depth starting pitcher, or realistically, maybe one of their high leverage relievers. Like if you can really coax, if you can include Griffin Jackson, I know you just got him, or like coax some real value out of Edwin Uceda, basically get to the Dodgers' point of how they'll give up one of the good outfield prospects.
Ooh, okay.
Like you start with James Tibbs, then you start talking about Sirota, then you start talking about Zaire Hope. You probably never get near Josue DePaula or Eduardo Quintero, I think, obviously, but the Rays are desperate right now for an outfielder that can hit and actually play the field together. But see what you have to add with Brandon Lau to get one of those guys that can be ready to play in the major leagues mid next year.
Yeah, I just figured one of the 27-year-old pitchers because the Rays love major league ready guys, and they'll be like, River Ryan, let's see what you got next year, man.
I mean, it might click at some point for River Ryan.
Landon Knack.
Hey, Landon Knack, geez. It's funny to think about those guys, how much more value they'd be to all the other franchises in baseball than the Dodgers.
Yeah, they would be 4 and 5 starters on almost every single organization except the Dodgers.
Yeah, right? Red Sox are really fun. Where'd you go with the Red Sox?
I went with the Red Sox, and this might be too much. You tell me. They're making a trade with the Royals. Jarren Duran and one of those left-handed pitching prospects that they have for Cole Reagans. Could be Connolly Early, could be Peyton Toll.
I had something very similar, but the reverse from the Royals' perspective. But I think that kind of is a lot for Reagans because
the thing that scares me about Reagans obviously is the shoulder injury he had last year, but he does have a lot of control, and he has shown he's just simply one of the best strikeout pitchers in baseball.
Oh, totally. I similarly had this from the Royals' perspective. I think the Red Sox, though, would go for more security, especially if they're giving up that package. Like, I don't think they're trading Conley Early for anything. I think he's completely untouchable. I think Tolle is someone that is mostly untouchable, but I think the one guy they would go like dip into the well and use him for, similar to Mets and Jonah Tong, is Hunter Green. I think you make a package around Peyton Tolle, and then you just kind of go down their list of other prospects. I know Luis Perales and David Sandlin are live arms. Maybe it's a sell low-ish on Christian Campbell. I don't think they'll make Franklin Arias available. I think they still like him as a shortstop long-term. But you basically go through that top 10 prospects to start headline with Peyton Tolle, and you go get Hunter Green.
Yeah, I think there's a possibility for that, too. I got Hunter Green mentioned in a trade a little bit later in this video, so I'm excited to mention that one. Last team now, we've got the New York Yankees. And I think I did one of your favorite trades. This is pure chaos. And again, I don't know how the values really lined up, but I think they're going to make a trade with the Twins. And I think they're going to be trading Jason Dominguez, Anthony Volpe, and Will Warren for Joe Ryan and Byron Buxton.
That'd be a crazy trade for them. I wonder if Buxton would actually waive his no-trade clause to be a Yankee.
I think there's a world where they could, and I do think for the Twins, this is probably the best value you're ever going to get back for those two guys in one trade package together. It's hard for them to get a lot for Buxton because of the money and because of his injury history and his age.
It's not much money. It's like $14 million a year.
I know, but I think it's just the fact that you might be paying a guy to play 100 games a year in his mid-30s. That's a little bit scary. But you get your center fielder, you can put Grisham to the corner, and then you get Joe Ryan, who would help this rotation. You get rid of Will Warren, Anthony Volpe, and Jason Dominguez.
Oh, so I have something very different for the Yankees because we know how much Hal Steinbrenner's been talking about, just the lack of money they have right now. I feel bad for a team like the Yankees that's cash-strapped at the moment. So I have them just flipping Trent Grisham to the Reds for a low leverage reliever.
I mean, they should be looking to trade Trent Grisham for anything, especially that he took a contract from them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they should almost do the reverse Cody Bellinger they did last year so they can reacquire Cody Bellinger. Like, let's find someone who will actually pay Trent Grisham because, again, I feel bad for the Yankees. They just don't have a lot of money right now. Like,
they're playing poor.
It sucks for them. Not a lot of profits for Hal Steinbrenner these days. It's a real shame. So make a salary dump.
Did you see the Lion walk back his comments? He roasted a caller 2 days ago or a few days ago for saying the Yankees aren't going to be able to spend. And he roasted him saying, you don't know anything. I know the Yankees are going to spend. Then all the reports came out that Hal Steinbrenner from, Brian Hoke, right? That said they're going to spend pretty close, if not to under, what the luxury tax threshold is. And Michael Kay's like, I was wrong. Shocker. That guy was wrong. Yeah, what an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, the Lion. I don't think people want to know about the Lion, but let's move. Which division you want to go to next?
I mean, we might as well go to the NL East now, right?
Yeah, that's how we do is all division. The West
East Coast
people
bias.
are pissed. Yeah. Braves first.
Okay.
I had weirdly strange trades for the Braves.
Braves one is going to be a guy that I think no one's heard of, traded for a reliever that no one cares about.
Okay, what do you got?
I got them trading Elisan Joseph, who is like a 25-year-old guy in Double-A who throws 102 with a wipeout slider.
Nice.
He's going to be a bullpen arm, and you trade him to the Diamondbacks for Ryan Thompson.
I also had them making a trade with the freaking Diamondbacks, but not for Ryan Thompson. I had the Braves are desperate for a shortstop right now. I know they got Mauricio Dubon, and he's going to be a good defensive player, but like there's still not much happening there with Mauricio Dubon. I had them going out, giving Blaze Alexander one more shot to be their shortstop.
All right, I like that.
I think I was thinking about Drew Hackenberg, but I think that might be too much for him. But just, again, Double-A pitcher, someone random for Blaze Alexander. Also, I think they're weirdly a fit for Luis Angel Acuna.
Totally.
Because just, again, like Luis Angel Acuna might be Mauricio Dubon. Like that just might be exactly what he is.
I also think that the way that Luis Angel Acuna gets to the Braves is never going to be through the Mets. It's going to be the Mets trade him somewhere, then they trade him to the Braves.
The Mets and Braves have got together for a few small trades over the years, but nothing like serious. But also, this team is so depthless when you look at their roster. Like they should be value shopping at the next team that sells down to the studs. Like if the Twins keep trading, or if the Cardinals are dumping, like. Yeah, but the Braves don't need a second baseman. I guess, I don't know, like Newt Bar kind of would help them, but just they need so many baseball players on this roster.
Yeah, because if there's one injury, they have no fill. They have no fix.
No, nothing.
Next up, let's talk about our Mets.
Nets? All right. Oh, I mean, this was an easy one. Derek Skubal for anyone except Jonah Tonga, I guess.
I tried to keep it a little realistic. I said they trade Acuna and Douglas Oriolana for Luis Robert.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great for me.
But I think it's like a pitcher in Double-A who's got like major league potential, and Luis Angel Acuna is going to be a major league player right now.
I'm just not going to quit the Mets Derek Skubal dream until it's actually dead in the water, until the Tigers say we're not trading him or he's on another team. So I do think you could still just package up like 6 players that are not Carson Bench or Jonah Tong for the 1 year of Derek Skubal and get him.
Okay, all right. Listen, I'd be happy. I'm glad you went pipe dream. I went realistic.
Sproat, Jet, Wenninger, and I don't know, there's like one more guy to add into the middle of that trade.
Maybe like a Morabito?
Nah, Morabito's not. Maybe, honestly, it might take AJ Ewing. But even so, again, pleasure developing you guys, but they have to move on from there.
Phillies next. I got them selling off. I got them paying 100% of Nick Castellanos' contract, going to the Miami Marlins for their new starting catcher, Liam Hicks, in a platoon.
Oh God! Ugh.
What? It's Nick Castellanos. They have nothing, and the Phillies. I don't think they're going to re-sign Real Muto. I think that he's going to go somewhere else. Who are they going to catch?
I mean, I think they're going to find a catcher. I mean, they can't do Rafael Marchand, but I have something a little bit different. I have them flipping Justin Crawford to go get Luis Robert.
Okay, I mean, I'll be honest. I don't know how much of a difference Justin Crawford and Luis Robert might be this season.
Am I undervaluing Justin Crawford at the moment?
I think so, because I think regardless, he's going to be an elite center fielder defensively. The guy flies. He's stupid fast. Like, you'll watch him run and be like, oh my God, he took 6 strides. He's at third base. And he does hit for contact. Like, he puts the ball in play, which is what you want from a speed guy. I just don't know what a ceiling like him is ever going to be, where, I don't know, the Phillies really think he's going to be worse than Luis Robert next year? He might not be.
I think that, again, I think we're in the minority of this, but as Luis Robert believers, I still think also Major League Baseball teams also tend to be Luis Robert believers.
I'll tell you what, the White Sox would go, yes, a million%. They'll pick him up.
Yeah, maybe that was what it was the deadline, too, and the Phillies didn't want to do it, so maybe I'm just way off on that.
Marlins or Nationals, where you want to go for the last two?
Marlins. I got a fun one for the Marlins.
Ooh, me too.
Okay, the Marlins trade nothing and take Wilson Contreras' contract. And
nice.
Wilson Contreras goes down, hangs out in South Beach, and then he gets to kind of be first base catcher, kind of like the wise elder statesman for Augustine Ramirez's development, and just add like a real bat and add a real guy to a clubhouse that might actually be able to compete for a playoff spot.
Cool. I like that. I have that idea. I have them trading away Edward Cabrera to the Cubs for a little value back. Owen Casey, James Triantos, guys that are major league ready, that are going to be in this lineup, and I think would be good players that they could really get a lot out of.
I think so too. It feels like, I guess honestly that's not that bad value. If I like the Cubs, I'd do that in a second.
Yeah, and I think if you're the Marlins too, maybe there's another throw in there for a younger prospect that they could have in their system. It's tough with these younger guys that are not really getting any shine to figure out who people are actually interested in.
Yeah.
But Triantos is like, all right, let's try Connor Norby again, and then Owen Casey is the high upside, like you're hoping the exit velos happen like Kyle Stowers kind of thing.
Yeah, and I guess that probably is a bet that the Marlins should make, just desperately needing a bat. And then last one, Nationals, kind of tough one to figure.
Okay, this is a fun one. Nationals trade Mackenzie Gore to the Tigers. This is Tarek Skubal insurance. And the Nationals get back Jose Briseño, Chris Rodriguez, Jaden Ham.
This is bizarre because I had a very similar trade. I had them trading C.J. Abrams to the Tigers with a package headlined by Josue Briseño.
Wow, nice. Yeah, I was like, because Keibert Ruiz, also, apologies. He should have been one of the worst contracts in all of Major League Baseball. The fact that the Nationals gave him money was crazy. He's the worst catcher in baseball, and it's not even close. I'm so disappointed in Keibert. But yeah, they need a new catcher. They need a guy who's going to be there for a while. I love Chris Rodriguez because he's one of the most high ceiling, low floor prospects, I think, in the minors right now. He just has crazy exit velos, but might only hit the ball once a game for a week.
The Tigers also, I don't think Briseño's really a catcher. I see him more as just a power bat, like in the mold of Basayo. But I know the Tigers also have Theron Liranzo, who they got from the Dodgers 2 deadlines ago when they sold Jack Flaherty and then went on their magical run to start with all this. But the Tigers are one of these teams that's a contender, but desperately is lacking a shortstop. They're basically going into next season with either Zach McKinstry trying to play shortstop or Javier Baez going back to shortstop.
Or Trey Sweeney again.
And there's a weird thing going on now with C.J. Abrams where he is kind of the only shortstop available on the market. Like, teams aren't even basically seemingly considering Bo Bichette as a shortstop as a free agent. So the fact that Abrams, while there is a lot to work out defensively, like offensively you still have a guy, you still have a freak athlete. I think that different coaching, different fit. Like, C.J. Abrams still can be a plus defender in his career, I think, for sure.
Sure, there's the world. He's too athletic to be as bad as he's been. Or he just has the worst hands in the world.
Yeah, or that.
So, all right, well, that's Nationals to the Tigers is crazy how we're getting this hive mind shit. All right, you know what? Let's go to the West. Give the West Coast. The Central, leave them for last. Leave them for last. AL West. I want to start with the Angels.
Okay.
I couldn't physically write one because I have them trading for Nolan Arenado from the Cardinals' perspective, and I don't know what moves they make because that organization still to this day, it makes no sense besides, like, who's a former top prospect that a team doesn't want that they could go after?
Oh, this year, the Angels, I'm going to name you 2 guys right now, and I almost guarantee you one of them will be an Angel by this time next year. Jared Kelenic, Nate Pearson.
Great calls. Great calls.
If Forrest Whitley comes back from the NPB, he's going right to the Angels as well.
Well, he'll be there in 2028. They'll sign him after he has one great season. He'll come back over.
Exactly.
Wow.
He'll come back
I love Nate Pearson, Kelenic are great ideas.
Forrest Whitley will come back to the States, have a good contract somewhere, and then the Angels will give him money.
Oh man, those are awesome ideas. I also was like, could they trade Robert Stevenson for like Jose Barrios contract swap?
I had Robert Stevenson linked to a few teams on this, honestly, just because I think a lot of teams would just like to take that shot.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know what that organization ever does. It's baffling day to day.
Yeah. Oh wait, so you don't have anything for the Angels? Just no.
They're going to trade for some old former prospect. I love the 2 names that you gave. I was trying to find a third baseman. I was like, but they're all bad. All the former ones are bad. I was like, do they do like Josh Young for somebody? Do the Rangers want to move off from Josh Young yet? I don't know if they're ready to give up.
Astros were another very difficult team to find a trade for because they need pitching so badly in that organization. And they're out of prospects. They're totally out of prospects. Like, I could see the Astros. This is going to be my official one, but I want to talk through it. Like, if they want to already dump Walker Janik, who looks like he's probably a player, and AJ
Walker Janik.
Oh, it's Janik, not Janik? Janik, good one. I got to remember that. Walter Janik and AJ Blueball, and that gets them Joe Ryan. Like, I see Joe Ryan as a fit for them, and I see that package as being passable, but I think more likely, like, they wind up with Barrios for nothing or Brady Singer like that because their farm is so fucked.
I think Twins fans would be borderline upset to extreme levels if that was the trade back for Joe Ryan. That would be underwhelming.
I don't think people respect AJ Blueball enough.
I think you just love AJ Blueball a lot
from
a fantasy value perspective.
He's nasty. AJ Blueball's awesome.
But for the Astros, I had them trading Jake Myers for Kodai Senga because once I saw Jake Myers was available for starting pitching, I was like, that's a guarantee. That's got David Stearns written all over it.
Jake Myers for Brady Singer? Can the Reds use
that's also a possibility. Yeah. I think that's also a possibility. I have the Reds trading Brady Singer for Jake Myers in their trade. So,
stop. No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, my God.
So I was like, Jake Myers is going somewhere for a starting pitcher.
Yeah. Mariners.
Logan Evans for JoJo Romero.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals are like more boring pitching, and the Mariners get a left-handed reliever they've been linked to.
I'm ready. Cue the montage. I'm coming home. Bring Cattell back to Seattle.
Wow,
make him the second baseman. They have so many 50 value prospects in that system just hanging out. Like you're not trading Colt Emerson at this point, but if you could package some kind of Cole Young, Johnny Farmelo, and then
Farmelo's too good. I think Cole Young could be the guy
for Cattell.
Well, you just had Ketel going for lesser guys than Formella. Formella's like a top 30 prospect in baseball right now.
None of these trades have to do with the other trades on the board.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying in a vacuum, these trades could be like relatively realistic. Is Formella like top like 60 prospect right now?
I think he's a top 30 guy right now, according to Baseball America.
Yeah, he's top 30 Baseball America. It's maybe me underrating
He's a freak.
Formella.
People love him.
Yeah, I mean, he is a physical freak, but like there's so many options. Like maybe you finally dump Harry Ford because it seems like he's never going to get a shot to play.
Felton and Celestine could probably eventually get moved.
Yeah, Felton and Celestine get like there's. And it's just if they don't bring back Jorge Polanco, like Lazaro Montes, our boy, like
he's a top 30 guy now too, by the way.
But just dump like they have their top 10 of prospects might be the strongest and deepest top 10 in the league, and they have depth and depth and depth behind them. They've been drafting well, developing well. Group a couple of those guys together, and you're not trading Colt Emerson, you're not trading Cade Anderson, and then just go out and get Ketel Marte, who will actually take that team to an unbelievably high level.
Yeah, they'll be the best team in the American League if they get Ketel Marte.
Yeah, I think also I bet they call up the Cardinals too and be like, "What? How can we get Brendan Donovan and Lars Nootbaar at the same time?"
Yeah, that feels like a very good fit for that organization to get those two guys.
Yeah, let's start with Emerson Hancock, and you guys let us know what needs to be.
And you don't get Jojo Romero too. Why not?
Bring Jojo Romero home. Every team could use Jojo Romero.
We've got the Rangers up next. Want to hear the most disgusting trade of the entire video? You're gonna puke.
Yeah, sure.
Jock Peterson to the Phillies for Taijuan Walker. Bang! Make it happen.
That's so vile. They both have like 1 year and similar money left. Too.
Yep.
Oh my God, it's a well thought out trade. I really wanted to try and find like the reverse Corey Kluber for them to do, but because when they acquired Corey Kluber, they let go of Emmanuel Clase, and right now this team needs so badly like a controllable, nasty reliever, but they don't really have any kind of pitcher that can trade for any value right now. Like
they don't have like almost any value that they can trade anymore.
And they don't want to take on money either. So I'm like, there were another one where I was like, how the hell do you guys find a path forward at this point? And they dumped a bunch of their good mid-tier prospects to get Merrill Kelly at the deadline, and that went fucking nowhere. So they're in a very difficult spot trade-wise. But I think something that would make sense for them. You want to cut some costs. You want to have some fun here. You trade Corey Seager for Anthony Volpe, Jason Dominguez, and one of those Carlos Arrange, Elmer Rodriguez, big-time Yankee pitching prospects.
That's the one that you had. It's funny that we have those guys packaged together, like Dominguez and Volpe, and somebody gets you somebody huge.
Like, cause literally, like you can give the Yankees Corey Seager. It's like bang, Yankees get Corey Seager, but then you can get multiple years of control, like 4 more years of control. And Anthony Volpe, he can relax a little bit, not play in New York anymore, and I still like Jason Dominguez. And then you add another piece on top of that. Like that's suddenly a situation where the Rangers have made their team cheaper and can probably still get close to competing next few years.
Outfield glut would be a problem, I think, but otherwise, I mean, because you can make Brandon Nimmo your DH.
Yeah. They don't have like too many hit players right now.
Or Jason Dominguez, because I forgot he can't catch a fly ball.
No, can't do anything. But yeah, that's something I think for them would be fun.
Last team, I got the Athletics trading Luis Severino to the Giants for Jose Budo, because why not? Let's make a former Met for Met trade.
I went crazy with this one. So like I would like to have the idea for them to like get one of the boring starting pitchers, like a Barrios, Mitch Keller, Brady Singer. You know who's from the Bay Area?
Who's from the Bay Area? It's gonna be someone I feel like I do know. Have we talked about this player before?
Yeah, it's Tarek Skubal.
Oh, okay.
You flip Leo DeVries and you get Tarek Skubal because you just got DeVries kind of for free, and then you have a year to tell Tarek Skubal, hey, we will pay you what you want. You will be the face of a franchise you can possibly root for when you were growing up, as they make this move to become like the team in this new area. Like you're the man, you're going to be the headline superstar. We'll make you the highest paid pitcher ever. Well, you have 1 full year to convince him, and you can put Skubal on top of a rotation that with him becomes like kind of passable to at least make the playoffs in the AL with one of the best young lineups in the American League to support.
I love it. I'd also love to see just the chaos of Tarek Skubal going from one of the best pitching ballparks in all of baseball to the worst, basically.
Because that's also for them, too. At first, I was thinking, let's get the boring starting pitcher. But, the boring starting pitchers, we saw Severino go there and suck.
Yeah, they just got another Luis Severino. That's not what they need.
I don't think a boring starting pitcher would be good there. You have to get one of the best guys in the league if you actually want to make an impact pitching in that ballpark.
Yeah, I was like, trade Severino for a pitcher. That's going to be free. And if he stinks, you don't care because you got off the Luis Severino money.
Yeah, I think that's one.
All right, NL West. Mm-hmm. We could have some fun with the NL West now. Where do you want to start, James?
You want to do the Dodgers? Why not?
Yeah, do the Dodgers. All right, I got trading one of River Ryan, Gavin Stone, Landon Knack, Justin Robleski, and then an outfield prospect in Zach Earhart for Lars Nootbaar.
That's hilariously boring. I'm having way more fun with these. You go get Hunter Green if you're the Dodgers, and you trade Mike Sirota, Zaire Hope, and Gavin Stone, and probably one more. probably don't want to trade Quintero. Maybe you do. Honestly, yeah, you probably do have to add Quintero to that package.
Yeah, it's Hunter Green. You'll be fine.
You do Quintero, Soroka, and Gavin Stone. You get Hunter Green.
Yeah, no, I went a little more boring. I went more realistic with the Dodgers. I'm like, I can't.
Why is that not? Why is this not realistic?
No, I'm saying I just can't give them every single star player ever. I mean, we hate their guts, even though we respect them.
No, of course, but I think because they don't really have a fear of making the big move, even though they have the best team and just won 2 World Series. Like, there's no fear.
Where are we going next, James?
I have one I kind of feel bad about, and it's the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Okay, yeah, mine includes. You want to know what's really funny?
What?
When you said it, I didn't even in my head understand what was being said because I forgot I wrote trade Ketel Marte to the Mariners. Yeah,
stop.
Yeah, trade Ketel Marte to the Mariners. I put Michael Arroyo, Yorger Bautista, Ryan Sloan.
Nice, let's go. Yorger Bautista. I mean, talk about boomer bust over there. So this is the only one in my trade universe here where I want to see this trade happen and go both ways. I think that those paupers over there that own the Cleveland Guardians should pony up and go out and get Ketel Marte. But the Diamondbacks should tell the Cleveland Guardians, like, we'll maintain this whole salary, but now we need the biggest package you can send us back. Like, we want to start with Travis Bazzana, then we want Parker Messick, and we want to probably get Angel Genoa too, and maybe one more of the fringy pitchers.
Angel Henao?
You
you somehow found a way to make his name Italian.
Yes, my bad. I got Italian on the brain. Going to an Italian wedding tonight. But I think that the Guardians, I'll even just talk about from the Guardians' perspective now. Like, it's a perfect time for them to just go in. Like, you want to get Jose Ramirez a mate in that lineup.
J-Ram said you better bring somebody in, otherwise I'm out.
And if the Diamondbacks want to get the best package, the Diamondbacks are a mess. A mess. I know
Major mess.
Their upper tier of the farm system isn't like a disaster like some other teams right now, but in terms of their major league depth and where they could possibly find it and what their budget constraints seem to be, I don't know how they reasonably compete over the next few years. So you try to, again, you dump Ketel Marte, you pay his contract, you get the best and most voluminous package back you can get of guys that can start competing soon. Like Travis Bazzana, major league player next year. Parker Messick will be your 4-starter next year. Like, you start with those guys, and then you see if you can get like the lottery tickets below in a deal like that.
I like it. Let's go with the San Francisco Giants next. What'd you got for that?
It's just.
And I went chaos for that one.
No, I went trading nothing to get Jose Barrios, just having him be the 3-starter and just pretend he's good because the biggest ballpark in the league.
Fair, yeah. No, I said you're going to go get Hunter Green.
Oh.
And you're going to trade Bryce Eldridge and Joshua Gonzalez, and that gets you Hunter Green.
I wouldn't even do that if I was them, you think?
You don't think so?
I mean, I guess I would Hunter Green, like, who cares, but
because like
Joshua Gonzalez seems like the next.
I think he's like this next season is when all of a sudden he might just jump into the top 10 prospects.
Yeah.
I think there's still a little risk, but I think if you were to move those two guys and Bryce Eldridge becomes slightly redundant on this team because I think truthfully he's going to be a first baseman when you have Rafael Devers getting paid all that money. I don't know if Eldridge is really going to be that good of an outfielder defensively.
It's to be a fine TH.
Yeah. But also left-handed bat in that ballpark. Besides Barry Bonds, no one's ever hit particularly well there as a lefty for a consistent period of time. I think Bryce Eldridge also to the Reds would become like a 40 home run a year guy instantly. And Joshua is your Ellie De La Cruz insurance.
Now and then again, from my perspective, you send like Spencer Bivens to be bullpen depth for the Blue Jays and take Jose Barrios' money with you.
Yeah, which is also a possibility. All right, 2 more teams here. I'm going to let you pick this next one.
I'm going to go right to the San Diego Padres. And I think if I look at the Padres roster right now, the one thing that I really think they need to get them to the next step is another closer. Okay, no, I'm totally joking. Totally kidding right there. They should be a team that is flipping Jeremiah Estrada to try and get a real starting pitcher.
Probably, yeah.
They should dangle Jeremiah Estrada like this and be like, who will give us the best starting pitcher? I don't know who that is. Like, can you get, like, Jack Leiter for Jeremiah Estrada? Like, is that a crazy offer that I concocted?
Might be a little crazy.
What's crazy about that?
I don't know what Jack Leiter's value is right now.
He just
how much value or how many years does Estrada have in control? He's got to be like another 3 years.
I think he has 3 years left. Yeah. I think also Leiter has 4 years left, but he also just had like 180 innings.
The Rangers then look and they're like, who's pitching?
I guess that's true, but maybe you got to buy in on Kumar Rocker at some point.
Do you dangle him to the Mariners then for a starting pitcher?
Do the Mariners want Jeremiah Estrada? I guess they'll take him, but this is a deal that will much more come to light. This is more of a deadline deal than an off-season trade. If we're going to do an off-season trade, what's going to happen is Fernando Tatis going to go to the Mets.
Okay. I have Fernando Tatis being traded, but to the Mariners. That's the move where the Mariners could go like, oh, yeah, you know how we have every single prospect in the world? big dick moment, we're trading them all for Fernando Tatis.
But the difference is that if the Padres actually go through trading Fernando Tatis, which is still kind of a faraway thing from happening, it'll
Of course,
start.
yes.
This conversation will begin when the actual selling of the team begins, because they're just not going to want that asset in their books. You have to trade them full money. I don't see the Mariners taking that full contract in any way, shape, or form. I see the
Probably not, because they don't spend like that. But the Mariners, we do know one of the issues that they've had is that they can't really sign these big free agents because all these guys don't want to come play in Seattle.
Yeah.
So you can't. It's kind of worthless to give them this big contract because they're never even going to come. How do you go get a big player? You trade for him.
I think Australia might have 5 years left of team control as well. So I was probably underselling it with Jack Leiter. But I think that's the most realistic thing they should do to make their team better next year. But I really start to see a world where they do just try and get out from under the Tatis contract sooner than later.
Totally.
And that will be a sadly disappointing, underwhelming return for Padres
So
fans.
what do the Mets give up then?
Oh, it's just a bunch of the depth pitchers. Nothing of true acclaim.
I still think it's going to be for big prospects. Even though that contract's huge, he's
Where's their leverage?
too good, too young.
Where's their leverage?
I know there is no leverage, but the leverage is, hey, do you want one of the 25 best players in baseball for the next 10 years?
I guess the leverage comes from the market that develops where the offers start to wind up. But we've seen some of these big contracts go over in years past. They haven't gone for as much as we thought.
Sure.
It's not similar. It's not like a 1-to-1, but the Rafael Devers return was nothing when he took that full contract.
He also can't play the field.
True. I mean, again, where was the leverage, though? If only a few teams are willing to pay, these teams aren't going to bid up each other. It's really going to wind up being just the Mets, the Yankees. They'll never trade him to the Dodgers.
No, of course not, and they shouldn't. That would be criminal.
They'll never trade him to the Giants.
Maybe the Blue Jays then, because the Blue Jays will be happy to take on that money.
I guess whoever doesn't sign Kyle Tucker will be in the. Maybe that's stopping Kyle Tucker's market. Whoever doesn't sign Kyle Tucker winds up right in the middle of Fernando Tatis sweepstakes.
Yeah.
Damn, that sounds weird. But I think
they should bring Fernando Tatis in with Bryce and Alec and Brandon and Trey. I think he'd fit in perfectly with the Phillies.
I think Fernando Tatis would unironically love Philadelphia.
Of course. Well, maybe not.
I think unironically, I think you have a nice time there.
Last team, Colorado Rockies. I'm bringing Chase Dollander to the Mets.
Okay, yeah, just get rid of him. Don't even let them waste him.
And we'll give them Sproat, Clifford, and Acuna.
I have something similar, but it was more of Oh God, I lost the guy's name. What's your flamethrower? Oh, Seth Halverson.
Oh, Seth Halverson. Yeah.
Seth Halverson, but they're going to get like a change up first, like pitcher, just to be like what's trying. I'm excited for whatever move the Rockies actually do make because I want to see what Paul DePodesta is thinking about.
What's going on in that big old brain of his?
I want to see the game now, but I do see him just dumping Halverson and getting the most boring starting pitcher you could ever imagine.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I dream of Chase Dollander out of Colorado, and if he could ever be a Met, my God, I would be excited.
I mean, in like 1 second, he'd go from like nothing to incredible.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, the Mets will have to give up some stuff if they get him, because I think the Rockies also know his value is way higher than what it is currently, and every team in baseball knows that.
I think maybe they know that. I mean, hopefully they know that.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I know Brandon Williamson got injured last year from the Reds, but I know they could use another like high leverage reliever, like Seth Halverson for like Brandon Williamson is something.
Sure, yeah.
Like, that's the kind of like really stupid, boring, like nonsense trade I see them making soon.
All right, let's go to the final, the Central, AL Central. I'm going with the Twins first. Okay. Pablo Lopez to the Astros for Miguel Ulloa and Bryce Matthews.
Okay. See, I like them as getting Ryan Mountcastle like we talked about before. They could really use a first baseman. And like why wouldn't this team just kind of say fuck it and like go try and start to win some ball games?
I think the Twins?
Yeah, the Twins.
Yeah, because I mentioned the Astros last. I'm like, what are you talking about? Just because Ryan Mountcastle makes them 64 wins to 66?
I think if they don't trade any of their pitchers, they're honestly around a 500 team.
Ish, maybe. I don't know. They had them all last year and they were horrible.
Just like send out Cole Sands, give me Ryan Mountcastle, or like Mark Vientos, and like let's see if we can give someone a shot at first base for like a mid-tier right-handed reliever.
Okay, all right. Listen, don't knock it till you try it, but I'd be interested to see.
They're going to go into next season with Cody Clemens as the first baseman. Like I know Cody Clemens
was great.
I know Under the Hood he was great last year, and like the production was really good as well. But wouldn't you rather him be a rover? Like
yeah, of course. Oh, I don't. I feel there's nothing going on in Minnesota that you feel good about.
And like at this moment, like you can really convince yourself that either Ryan Mountcastle or Mark Vientos like has multiple 30 home run seasons in their future. So just try and get one of those guys. Again, Mountcastle no more team control, but just buy Mountcastle or Mark Vientos low if I'm the Twins.
What do you got for the Detroit Tigers?
Detroit Tigers. This was one that was more similar to the ones you have. Chaos trade. I've liked watching the Red Sox make these moves recently. Like that Johan Oviedo, Justin St. Garcia move is great because you see a guy like Craig Breslow playing this game the way like we'd imagine we'd play it.
Yes.
Like I like that guy's fastball. I like that guy's slider. I like my pitching coaches.
He's got to be good.
That's saying like we're going to make a bet here on stuff.
And I also like it from the Pirates. Get the password. Who's going to play every single day this year?
And he's got plus power. Like, and he's a good defender. Like you just got a really good player there. I see the Tigers shipping out my boy, my angel, Troy Melton for Jarren Duran.
Ooh, I thought about including Troy Melton in a trade, but I was like, he's so controllable. You can't get rid of him right now.
I said maybe even like you get Duran and something else because Troy Melton probably is more valuable than Jarren Duran, which that's kind of an insane thing to come out of my mouth, but it's probably true. And
it's because of the control and the money.
Totally, but like at this point, the Tigers they need some kind of other dynamic force in that lineup so badly. Like we're gonna do another full year of Wensil Perez. Like you need I know, and also Perez is good, but you need another ball player in the corner outfield.
Tigers trade Tarek Skubal to the Mets for Jonah Tong, Jet Williams, and Brett Beatty.
Great, awesome
deal. Sign me up.
That's way too much for Tarek Skubal right now.
I'll take it though. I'll still do that trade. That's me being a homer, knowing that I'm getting the Mets, getting everybody, but saying we are going to give you a lot back.
Yeah, no, totally.
Royals. What do you got for the Royals, James?
I want to like link Ketel Marte to every single team just because I think it's fun, but I tried to change it up here. And again, since they paid Jonathan India the $8 million, I don't think they're going to get a second baseman at this point. I also had them trading Cole Reagans to the Red Sox, but I had them getting back Wilyer and Peyton Tolley.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's a lot. It's funny enough how that's very similar to me. Just you did it, Abreu, I did Duran.
Yeah, or maybe because maybe they're actually not able to get Tolley for Reagans just because Tolley's so controllable and Reagans is so injured. So maybe it's like Wilyer, Luis Perales, and then you can also take back like I don't think they would give Bayo back either. I'm trying to just do this one on the fly in my head right now, but like something with
Cutter
Wilyer,
Crawford.
Yeah, because we haven't even seen the guy pitch in a long time.
That's fair.
There's like a basis of Wilyer for Reagans, but I think Reagans is more valuable than Wilbur. Wilyer. Ugh. But you get back a nice piece from the Red Sox with Wilyer Abreu, and you send out Reagans because this is like could be the epitome of the Royals for like buy low, sell high with Cole Reagans.
Yes.
Like there's a chance that Cole Reagans never gets over 120 innings.
There's also a chance he goes to a New Organ, becomes the best pitcher, one of the 5 best pitchers in baseball again.
Oh, this could be the exact same Garrett Crochet trade for the second year in a row.
Spider-Man pointing at each other.
Garrett Crochet, Cole Reagans, best lefties in the world. Yeah.
Royals, I had trading Chris Bubich for Jake Myers. Just the Jake Myers is going to be involved in every rental pitcher.
Jake Myers
trade. Yep, Jake Myers. So I don't even really need to talk about that one too much.
No, Guardians, I said again, I think that was my only in the same universe trade of like letting the Diamondbacks pay down Ketel Marte and like giving your top prospects for him.
I went Stephen Kwan to the Mariners for Dominic Canzone, Michael Arroyo, and Emerson Hancock.
I would do that if I was the Guardians.
Yeah, and I think I would do that if I'm the Mariners. All those guys are pretty much, I don't want to say redundant. Michael Arroyo is the only guy that isn't, but it helps the Guardians who could have some middle infield help.
Cancel my Buckeye. White Sox now, close out division.
Luis Robert for Chase Petty. Because we've heard in the past that they wanted Luis Robert for Jonah Tong from the Mets last trade deadline. Chase Petty's got stuff, controllable starter for Luis Robert.
I kind of went the opposite route with the White Sox. Like, why don't you just go out and get Mackenzie Gore? Like, let's go. trade the low-level prospect, get Mackenzie Gore, 2 years of control. Start to signal to the team we might be trying to win games. There's a lot of faith, I think, internally in the White Sox pitching development right now. Yeah. They love Brian Bannister. Let's tell the boys in the clubhouse like we're going to try to win 75 games this year.
That would be hilarious.
And you could buy low Mackenzie Gore. And I know that Jay Reinsdorf pretends he's poor, but you have the money to pay him if he likes being there.
Yes, fair. All right.
Yeah, that was a chaos one. That's not going to happen. But that was nuts.
Last division, NL Central. You know what? Let's get started with the old Pittsburgh Pirates. Justin Lawrence to the Mets for Jeff McNeil. Give me it.
I want them to go get Jason Dominguez. You just got Justin St. Garcia.
That would actually be sick for them.
Yeah, go make a play. I don't know what the Yankees are going to want. You're not going to trade Mitch Keller for Jason Dominguez.
Hell no.
You could do Mitch Keller and Justin Lawrence for now. The Yankees just got their whole depth of relievers. It's more realistically like they're going to get one of Jake Cronenworth, Jeff McNeil, Alec Boehm, Tristan Casas, Mountcastle, Vientos, or Nolan Gorman.
Even I think Miguel Vargas could probably be someone too that they'd consider because I think his control's a lot less now than we think it was.
But you probably have to be a facilitator, third team in a trade to get Jason Dominguez from the Yankees, where they get a big time star going back, or you trade Justin Lawrence and just get one of those bats.
Yep,
depending on how much control
he showed. As soon as he gets out of Colorado, I'm an awesome reliever.
Yeah,
Brewers. I got them trading Freddie Peralta to the Mets for Brandon Sproat and Nick Morabito.
Yeah, I sadly also had them trading Freddie Peralta to the Mets, but I said just Brandon Sproat.
Okay. Yeah, I threw in Morabito as just the 40-man roster crunch.
And it's a shame for an exercise like this for a team like the Brewers, who like objectively
are good,
might be the second best team in the National League still right now. But we're like the only thing we can even really see that's moderately realistic is them dumping salary.
Yeah, which is so fucking lame.
I mean, again, they're a team that I know they have Jesus Mate, but like, if you still think Mate's 2 years away, like, why don't you take a shot in C.J. Abrams? Like,
why not?
You have defensive masterminds in your organization. Make him a good defender, and all of a sudden you have like a 4 or 5 win player. Easy.
Do you think Bryce Strang could play short?
He probably would have by now.
Fair.
I don't think Bryce Strang's a very strong arm, if I remember correctly.
That's maybe that's the one thing. But yeah, sucks that the Brewers are going to sell off possibly because
I don't want to predict that trade.
They won the most games in the NL, and they're like, what if we trade our best pitcher?
Yeah, Bryce Strang, not a very good arm. That's probably the reason why.
That's probably the reason why. Where do you want to go next, James?
Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals trade Nolan Arenado to the Angels for scraps. That's what I put.
I Nolan Arenado to the Angels for cash.
Like they quite literally might just be like a really good pitching machine, and we'll take them.
A washing machine, I think they would take.
Yeah, the old Jackie Moon trade for Monix trade.
Yeah, right. You might just fill up a vending machine. Billy Bean Moneyball. Fill up a vending machine with soda.
Cincinnati Reds. I hit the Jake Myers button on this one for Brady Singer.
This one I went a little chaotic. I wonder if you told the Red Sox, Nick Lodolo, but you have to give us Bulyer, Abreu, and Peace if Red Sox do.
I don't think so. He's too injured.
He was healthy. I think he's healthy 2 years in a row, isn't he?
I think it was
this year. He had blisters, so it was not a big deal.
Let's see. What's Nick Lodolo's?
I think it's 150 at least 2 out of 3 years
right
now.
I do think the Reds are going to be moving on from a pitcher. I think they have to. They have Rhett Lauder in the minors. They have Chase Petty. They have a bunch of guys that are waiting for that last final spot. Lodolo's till 2028. He threw 150 last year, 115 the year before. Yeah,
I think Lodolo might be growing out of the injured stuff, and I think again a team like the Red Sox would look at traits on a guy like Lodolo and be like, we can actually turn him into our two. Like him. I wonder
if it would be Duran. If it would be Duran or Abreu, which one? Which one they could give up for less value?
I think that if you put Willie Abreu in Great American Ballpark, he could hit 40 home runs.
I mean, he smokes the baseball.
Like, this is the kind of situation where I think the Reds should be going harder for the guy, again, similar to what I just said about the Red Sox, with the power traits that would play up more so in their ballpark. And if you add one real hitter to that mix, you have Sal Stewart next year, the DH, or play third, figure out Brian Hayes, like Noelvi Marte, a nice second half.
Also might play second. Matt McClain might stink. So.
Yeah, Matt McClain might be cooked. But, like, you're starting to get a real, like, actual nucleus of good players there. And you could try to make a kind of trade on the edge. For someone who could be like an all-star caliber bat.
I considered Lodolo. I'm like, God, the Reds maybe not yet.
But I don't know how to value Lodolo. I don't know how these major league teams are thinking about Lodolo because I do think that
we've heard players talk about him. And they're like, when he's
unhittable.
Unhittable. He's the nastiest pitcher in baseball. I remember Trevor May told us that all the players came in and were like, we have no idea how to hit Nick Lodolo. I don't know what's coming. Never a clue.
He destroys the Mets every single time he faces them. So that's why I do think it would cost more than Abreu to get Lodolo. But like it'd be about the Red Sox finding another piece that the Reds will want there.
And then last, we got the Chicago Cubs. Boy, did I go boring for them because the Cubs are boring and they're cheap.
All right, so I did the trade that you kind of said before. I said you get Sandy or Edward Cabrera or Joe Ryan or Pablo with the deals. With the package surrounding Owen Casey.
Yeah, that's a trade that I would love for them to do. Obviously, as a Mets fan, no, because it makes them better. But like the Cubs should be going for that because their rotation is so damn boring. It's just got zero juice whatsoever. They're like boring white guy. Put him in the rotation. I have them finally moving on from Kevin Alcantara because he's got no room in this team. I don't know what he's going to be like as a major leaguer, but he has upside. And you trade him for AJ Puck on a rental, who becomes one of your relievers in that back end of the bullpen, which desperately needs help right now.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, AJ Puck, though, coming off another major surgery. Like, who knows if he's even going to pitch. But the Cubs did the bullpen the fly last year really well. I was impressed by that. So
yeah, I mean, Brad Keller becoming good was huge, and Daniel Palencia being disgusting. Like, oh, you guys figured it out finally.
Yeah, good for them.
Good for them. All right. I think that's every single team, right? We ran through them all. 30 teams, 30 trade ideas from both of us. You got 60 trades. Me and James only lined up on a couple of them, and I only put the Mets to about half the teams and trade Jake Myers to half the teams. Love to know your guys' opinions, your thoughts, your trade predictions down in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. 10,000 subscribers. We are going to be giving away a signed MLB jersey. And also follow us on Instagram and TikTok as well, because at 10,000 followers over there, we'll be giving away another MLB jersey. So we do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
And I'm Giraffe Neck Mark. We'll catch you guys all in the next video. Peace out.